And that specific subject matter is technology. So as I'm sure most of you have heard, whether it's through the news, maybe people that you know, social media, ChatGPT is a really popular platform right now. It is AI technology, but it's something a little different than what we've interfaced with before. It's not like Google necessarily. You could potentially use it that way, but that's not really the best way to maximize the benefit of ChatGPT. I've had the opportunity to play with it a little bit, and it's a game changer for business owners, but not just business owners. I mean, even in your personal life, it could be really helpful with answering particular questions, giving you strategies, and really giving you a lot more insight on things that may have been harder for you to figure out all on your own. And so I just want to talk a little bit about how we need to be focused on leveraging technology more, because, you know, it's not the future, it's here in the present. The world has already changed. So after the last few years, we have seen the results of that. The fruits of all of that change and unpredictability has put us in a new way of life. And it's made it very clear that that's where we are. So what are we going to do with it is the question. And I just want to pose that question to you. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm doing, ideas that maybe could work for you as well in whatever it is that you're doing. Because whether you're tech savvy or not, you're probably using some form of technology. But the question is, are you using it to make you more efficient? Are you using it to its maximum benefit for your life? So ChatGPT, I'll just start there since I've already brought it up. I wrote about it on the blog this week. So if you check that out, you'll get a little bit more information. I actually had ChatGPT write part of my blog post, which was really interesting. So please check that out when you get a chance at intentionalpros.com/blog. But what I thought was really interesting about ChatGPT is it has this really great knowledge base. It only goes up to 2021, but you could use it as something that you just ask a bunch of questions to. But the better part of it is when you can start to really communicate with it. And I know that sounds crazy, but you have to think about it almost like a person. And a lot of media is talking about, oh, it's going to take, you know, jobs in these industries, watch out. And I know that's scary for a lot of us, especially those of us who are well seasoned in our careers and we've been doing certain things for a long time. And we want to make sure we have as much job security as possible in such an ever-changing market that we have. But what I have coming to realize is the advantage is going to be for those who take the time and effort to learn how to work with the AI, who learn how to use the AI as a companion or a counterpart, and not that you're competing with it. I mean, in actuality, you can't compete with it. We're human. It's not. So what I was learning about over the weekend, I'll just give you a little tidbit you could go and take and research on your own. But one of the keys to being a person that takes full advantage of this AI is learning prompt engineering. So then this is roughly what it is. I'm no expert by any means, but this is my understanding of it so far, is that, like I was saying, when you are interacting with ChatGPT or any AI, you have to figure out how to ask the right questions to get what you want out of it, right? So I could just say, give me a marketing strategy for a business. So that's very general, and it will give you something. It'll be very general though. But if you are able to be super specific and really drill in and narrow down on what it is you really want to know, then it can give you some really great info. So you can always, you know, drill that down to certain subject matter, like give me a social media marketing strategy for an online clothing business. So being more specific is very helpful. If you can give it very specific parameters to play in, it can give you much richer content back. So I could say, write me a blog post about business and technology. It would be very general, but if I say, create a blog post about how small businesses can leverage chat GPT technology in 2023, then it'll be a little bit more specific. And that's a little bit of what I did in my blog. And because when it gives you a response, you can always kind of rebut back and say, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Or can you give me 5 other points about X, Y, and Z? And it'll do it. So take some time to try to get familiar with it, at least, even if you're not a tech person by nature. It's just helpful for you to start to interact with it, because at the pace that this is going, I think it got 1 million followers in 5 days. It's the fastest. It's the shortest amount of time that any online platform has amassed that many followers, including Facebook, Netflix. It took them years. This took 5 days. So it's catching on really quickly. People are making money with it. People are getting really great strategies and tips on how to hack a lot of different things in the work world and the stock market, things like that. So it would be in your best interest to check it out and figure out how you can make it work for you. But also, I wanted to talk quickly about other modes of technology. I mean, right now, Zoom, I'm using that for this call, and it's allowing me to connect with people in different places and then turn around and share that same recording with other people on another platform that are also all over the world. So technology gives us connectivity that we wouldn't normally have without it. Also, we have devices like Apple Watches and cell phones and iPads that give us the ability to connect and to talk to people, communicate, to keep a calendar that will give us the ability to make appointments and do other things in a more efficient way. And it keeps us from being redundant or missing things. I know that's a big reason why I rely on that technology, because without my scheduled calendar links and my calendar working the way it does, I would probably not be very efficient. And then, of course, email is always a favorite. It's a great way to be able to communicate, but you can schedule emails ahead of time. You don't always have to be doing things in the moment. So automation of technology is really crucial when you're talking about, especially small business, because when you're starting out as a solo, you want to be able to duplicate what you're doing and not be so limited to just the time that you have when you're awake. All right, so